So what's your favorite? Chicken, beef, or pork?
I'm a beef guy.
You're a beef guy.
Well, hold on. Ribs are my favorite,
Okay.
right? Pork ribs. But I don't consider that pork. It's just a favorite. It's ribs. Ribs top everything. But then beef. I love a good New York strip, a filet in the morning, and I got my lunch today is gonna be some burgers. So I got ground beef thawing, and I'm gonna get that Kingsford hot, and we're gonna get it going.
Okay, so what's your favorite way to cook? Bake, grill, or stove top?
Man, I'm a black man in the South, so you know I'm gonna say the grill. We got some brown liquor in front of us, you know I'm gonna be on that grill.
Okay. So what's your favorite to accommodate you while you're on the grill? Would you rather have a coffee, a whiskey, or a refreshing beverage?
Depends on the mood, but it's gonna be a whiskey. It's gonna be like a nice little touch that I'm a nurse while I'm out there cooking.
Okay. Sauce or no sauce?
No sauce.
All
What you
right.
talking about, man? I'm offended.
So,
No sauce.
No sauce.
You can't season some meat and prepare it. You covering up your mistakes if you got to put sauce on it.
A lot of people like sauce, man. They can't.
I
live
like
without
sauce too because
Yeah.
people can't cook, so I put sauce on it. But if you can cook, ain't nobody put. This how you know you cook. You sit back, you watch everybody. If they eating your stuff without having to dip it in sauce, you know you the real deal.
What if I told you that one cabbage plant from a child's school project could grow into a nearly 2-decade legacy of land, ownership, agriculture, and entrepreneurship? Today on Tastemakers, we sit down with Wayne Swanson Jr., founder and CEO of Swanson Family Farm. Built on generations of farming tradition, Swanson Family Farm has grown into a Black-owned agricultural enterprise, producing premium grass-fed, pasture-raised beef, lamb, goat, and pork, now shipping nationwide. But Wayne isn't just raising livestock. He's cultivating something much bigger. Food sovereignty, Black land ownership, sustainable agriculture, and opportunities for the next generation of farmers. From the soil of Georgia to tables across America, this is a story of patience, discipline, ownership, and legacy. Tastemakers, meet Wayne Swanson Jr.
Tastemakers is a dynamic interview platform where real stories meet real strategies. Each episode features in-depth conversations with entrepreneurs, creators, and business leaders from across industries. If you're looking for information or insights into career-driven endeavors that you can only get from the people with the experience and expertise, then like and subscribe to our channel. With your support, we'll be able to grow the channel to bring you even more in-depth conversations with even more interesting tastemakers.
Putting on for the city. We've been running checkups for a minute. If you about your business, let me put you on. We handle business for a living. Tastemakers, boy, we boast up.
All right, y'all, coming today, Tastemakers, live and direct, coming from Decatur, Georgia. Today we have
Swanson Family Farm. I'm Wayne Swanson.
And today we're going to talk about the farming industry. So, Farmer Wayne, tell us about the moment you knew farming wasn't a job, it was your calling.
I knew farming wasn't a job, that it was a calling one day when I came in the house and my ex-wife and my son looked at me and said, "Do you know everything follows you?" And I said, "What do you mean everything follows me?" They said, "Everything on this farm, when you walk outside, gets behind you and follows you wherever you go." And I was like, "Oh, that's odd. Doesn't everybody's farm do that?" And she was like, "I don't think so, but they follow you." So I knew then that I had something unique and something special.
What does your farm represent beyond growing food?
It represents an opportunity to look at agriculture as a business, because we don't have just one set station anymore. We're investors in grocery stores. We invested in a farm in Jamaica. We are into two schools that we support here locally, and we are reinvigorating the direct-to-consumer market. So it represents the business side. Some of the things we talked about earlier, something that was going on in the 40s that we lost, we're bringing that back.
So I was saying you're originally from New Jersey.
Mm-hmm. Yes, sir.
So a guy from New Jersey, is the farming world pretty big up there?
Yeah, absolutely. New Jersey is the Garden State.
Okay.
So where I'm from, I want to say that outside of the northern side of the state, agriculture is a huge industry. Georgia just, I think, passed, but blueberries used to be the number one. I think I got this right. Blueberries used to be the number one ag component or ag sales in New Jersey. So blueberries were huge when I was a kid. We've got all kinds of farmers markets in southern New Jersey. My parents still live in a rural community. It's fastly becoming suburban, but it's 5 acre tract. So yeah, my grandparents migrated from South Georgia and Pennsylvania County, Virginia, to New Jersey as farmers.
What led you to the South?
College.
College.
Well, let me step back. So my maternal family is all from Southwest Georgia.
Okay.
So we come down here as kids, and I was enamored with the lizards. Like y'all they had lizards everywhere. So when I was a kid, I was like, man, I know I'll move to Georgia. And I ended up wanting to play football, and that didn't work out. I got injured, and my dad was like, man, you should go to school down in Georgia. And the rest is history.
Put you home. Okay, what does your farm represent beyond growing food?
At this point, I think that we represent a legacy lost because we're trying to reclaim the Black economic scene. So our farmers before desegregation had a locked-in customer base. And from community standpoints, our people want to buy from us. That doesn't mean that I won't sell to other people. I love all people. My mission is to my people.
If the fields could tell stories, what would they say?
Probably the first thing they tell you is about the day me and my buddy Patrick got struck by lightning. This is a hilarious story. Yeah. But also it will tell you about a lot of the mistakes that I made. It will tell you like in 2008 that I was looking for me. So I needed help. And one of the reasons I help as much as I do in my fields will tell you this, is that I was making mistakes, but looking for someone with my experience. So I try to help as many people as I can that are real, that are serious about ag. Not somebody that's just saying, it's popular right now, I got discretionary income, I'm gonna buy some land, and I want it to be profitable next year. That's not realistic. So the people who put the time in, I'm gonna help them.
So do your fields speak to you?
Absolutely. Yeah. And she speaks to me. She's a she. And I tell you that anytime I go, like I've never had a side-by-side. Just something doesn't feel right about it to me. I feel like I have to walk all of my pastures and all the land and all the woods because I need to know what she has to say. And I can't do that if I'm driving by in a 4x4. You can later when you get accustomed to her. But in the beginning, you got to date her. You got to get to know her well.
So what inspired you to continue farming when so many people have left ag?
I'm working in my gifts and talents. It's not a job for me. I'm not doing this for money. I have to make money, but I'm working. God gave me these gifts. Like since I was a kid, I've been a kid who you could reach in my pocket and pull out frogs and snakes and all kinds. I've been around animals my whole life. Dogs, cats, guinea pigs. I was a damn hamster breeder. Yeah. Me and my cousin T. Carroll in high school.
What one misconception people have about farmers today?
That we sitting home on the porch, that we're not busy, that the farm is not our job. Like, I don't think people understand that we are at work. Yeah. We're on the farm. People will call you all day. I'm gonna stop by. No, please don't. I got a schedule I got to keep. Yeah. At least let's find out when you can stop by. But we're at work and the work never ends. You have to make yourself stop.
What inspired you to continue farming when so many people have left ag?
Again, the gifts and talents. I tanked the business because I tried to do what the books tell you to do. So the books we're talking to are written by people who were gifted bountiful soil. So you didn't have to be a good farmer from the 20s before the Dust Bowl in the late 1800s, because the soil was so good. Anything you put in the ground came up. We had to be good farmers because we had to hide a lot of the stuff we were doing so we could have extra meals. And then after Jim Crow got started, we had to be excellent farmers because we were competing against a system that didn't want us to win. So we had to learn how to be not just surreptitious in our practices, but we had to learn how to get it in, get it out the ground, and get it sold quickly.
Okay. So as farming has been something passed down through your family?
Yes and no. My grandparents were farmers. They raised 18 kids on a farm in New Jersey. My grandfather, I think he's one of 17. He was raised on a farm in Virginia. My dad and his siblings, for the most part, all have the skill set, but they all wanted to move away. So they moved away. My dad moved 20 minutes from his family farm. But my whole life, we always had a small orchard, plum trees, apple trees. We had little gardens. And then every weekend, because our family was so big, we were at my grandmother's house. So I stayed there. I didn't have summer camps. We didn't go away for weekends. We went to somebody's farm. So both sides of my family have a farming legacy. So for summers, you know how Black people do for vacation, we're going to go to a park, but it's going to be near somebody's house.
Yeah.
We'll go to the house, and you can go to the Six Flags, wherever that is, but we staying with your aunt and them.
Yeah. Why is representation in ag important?
I think that accurate representation in ag is important because we need to see people who have made a living at it or who've made a great hobby at it. I think that the influencer culture that we live in now is quite disruptive to actual work because you have to produce it. You can't send a truck in here.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to grow this bad boy from the ground up, whether it's veg or protein. You can't just fake this. You got to put some work in. And I think that's important for kids to see. And if you follow me on social media, one of my schools that I support, DATE, which is the Cab Agricultural Technology and Environment School, they have pastures, and then we slaughter the animals and do fundraisers with the meat. So the kids are getting to see there's a scale there. So they get to see the gains of the animals. They get to see when they got busy because they was out playing and the animals grazed too much in a little teeny pasture. And now they got to spend money on alfalfa. And then they get to see that money get sucked away because they took too long when we do the fundraisers, because they got to pay everybody. So it's important for that representation. It's important that people see the farms, but if we're going to have farmers, they have to know how to make money at it. And that starts as early as 5 or 6 years old.
Mm-hmm. So that comes back around to my other question. What's your biggest expense on the farm then?
It's always for me, it's cattle.
Cattle.
Yeah, cattle. Biggest expense. And every couple of years, I'm going to buy a herd of steer. I can no longer have mama cows.
Yeah. Because
the turn is so fast. So I buy steer. And then I think I'm down to my last couple of my South Pole steers. And I bought them in this is 26, right? I bought them at the end of 24. Mm-hmm. So we were running through them. And then I have friends who have huge herds, and I'll take their mama cows that don't have babies, and they're all on grass. So, but the biggest expense is cattle.
That's why beef costs so much.
That's why beef costs so much. Real beef costs so much. The other stuff, I don't know.
All right. What are you most proud of that no one ever sees?
The biggest thing that I'm proud of that no one sees is that I'm sitting here because of my son. My son one day was mad. You know how kids are. So we had bought in, I think, 3 cows, and we keep carcass data. So basically, like any other company, we do inventory. And we were doing this because I'm not a legacy farmer. I didn't know farmers didn't do this. So every time we bought a cow in from the processor, we hand counted it and then wrote it down on a spreadsheet. Mm-hmm. All right, so he was 1,200 pounds. We cut it this way. We got this back. Now I've done that 10 times. So on the 11th time, my son's in the garage fussing. You know how kids are. He's 14, 15 years old. He was like, I don't want to do this no more. I was like, wow, we got to do it. He got on gloves. He cold. He said, why don't we just sell it as a quarter? I seen that on somebody else's website. It's a quarter of a cow. And we're not legacy farmers. So we misinterpreted a quarter of a cow. We thought a quarter of a cow meant a fourth of the whole cow, not a front quarter or rear quarter. So we started selling this quarter of a cow, all because he didn't want to count no more. So people loved it.
Yeah.
So when they started buying it like crazy, my whole garage was full of freezers. When they started buying it, I gave him credit. He was like, man, you get credit for this. You did this. I'm going to marshal it to make sure it gets done. But that's one of the biggest things I'm proud of.
Okay.
Very proud of that.
What's one piece of wisdom you would like to pass on to the next generation of farmers?
Get your books right. If you can farm, you can farm. Farming is not the hard part. If you're going to do this as a business, get some business training first. Find some people who you can learn from, who don't just say, I bought the bull for $2,000, I sold it for $2,500. Get some people who understand the cost of goods and what it costs to raise that bull or keep that bull until you sold it. So I don't know why we do this with agriculture, but people get into agriculture differently than they do opening a CPA shop or opening a donut shop. When you open a donut shop, you're going to find out what all your costs are going in. Mm-hmm. With farming, all we do is say, I got some land, I got some fencing, let's get some animals. We don't spend a year to year and a half doing the actuarial work. We don't do that. I did that because I was not legacy farmer. And that helped me see the mistakes I made when I tanked the business the first time, but also gave me some data so that I can improve on it and get the business to where y'all are here to give me an interview.
Okay. Tell me a little bit more about Miss Olivia.
Miss Olivia. So Olivia and I went to Morris Brown College together. Mm-hmm. And the reason that I'm here where I'm at from a business standpoint and financing standpoint, not all businesses cash flow fast. Farming does not cash flow fast. So my original investors are all Black people, and they all went to HBCUs. 2 of them from Morris Brown College, which Olivia is my PR person, but she's been in PR for 30 plus odd years and did my first commercial 15 years ago, just as a, hey, Chip, I'm going to do, they call me Chip, is my nickname in college. Okay. She said, I'm going to do this for you. And then all the other things that happened are because of Black people believed in me that had money that they can invest. And they invested in the restaurant, they invested in the farm, and some are looking to invest in the processing plant.
So tell us a little bit more about your distribution. Who all do you ship to?
I ship to families all across the country. I'm afraid to hit California because that may take a little longer. But if someone's willing to pay for the 2-day shipping, I'll send it. But it's families who have decided that they're budget conscious, and they are shoppers who are aware of their spend. So they're not the family who goes in and just says, I'll buy a steak or 2 today. Then maybe on Tuesday, I'll buy another couple steaks or 2. These families are budgeting for 6 months to a year. Mm-hmm. So they're coming to me for, say, 37 chickens, half a lamb, and a quarter of a cow. And then we'll get that prepared for them. We'll raise it, process it, and then get it to them. But that family is very budget conscious, and they understand that when they buy from me in the long run, they're saving money because it's a more cost-effective way to do it, but they don't have all the side spending by going in and out of stores. We spend several $100s just going in and out of stores because you're getting stuff you shouldn't be getting. All of us do it.
Well, with the quantity, I know one thing that a lot of people will say, like, it's too much to buy, like, get you a deep freezer.
Yeah, but that may not be for them.
Yeah.
So, and I stopped years ago. I used to tell people get a deep freezer. And then I was like, well, maybe they're not my customer yet. Mm-hmm. I still can have a conversation with you, but I'm matured enough and mature enough to know that everybody's on a journey. And I may not be who they need. So I was quick to be like, hey, my boys over at Atlanta Harvest, they have pieces. Go holler at them. And Atlanta Harvest will call me and say, hey, you got extra ground beef? We need more ground beef. We selling out of everything. And I'm going to get them some ground beef. Okay. But it's just understanding who your customer is. And then getting out of the mindset that we have to be the McDonald's or the Walmart or everything. That's never been us. Mm-hmm. We've always been, I know a cousin, I got a friend who can do this, and we can do this in business. I don't have to take over the world. There can be a me in Michigan. They don't have to, you can order from me. I ship to Michigan. But if you find somebody in Michigan, I'm cool that you supporting them. There's millions of people within 4 or 5 miles of me. I just need to find them.
Yeah. Okay. How can people support your farm and other local farms?
Buy, but pack your patience. If you want real food, pack your patience. And you have to ask yourself, should it be fast if it's real? And if you want to support us, go to Swanson Family Farm, LLC.com. You can also go to just Google us, Swanson Family Farm. We've done a great job of being present in the internet and in those spaces. I think we rate very high on Google searches. And then you can see the schools that we support. You can support those fundraisers. And then if you don't have a farm to support, we probably can connect you to somebody. We'll know somebody close to you that we can get you connected to.
Y'all heard that first on Tastemakers. Okay. Around here, we believe every trendsetter leaves the world better than they found it. When your story is told years from now, what do you hope people say you planted, not just in the ground, but in people's lives?
I hope that they planted, that I've planted, that we are enough. Like our community is enough. They bought us here to make money off of us. When you boil slavery down, they bought us here to make money off of us. Jim Crow was about keeping us out of the money. Like we couldn't get jobs at the local county office. That's what they did it for. We are money-making, generating machines. We can do that for ourselves, and we used to do that for ourselves. And I hope that I have put that legacy back into the ether. Like, yeah, man, we can do it. We don't have to be nationwide. You can be, but you don't have to be to make a very good living. You can support the people in your community, and in such, they will support you back. I'm a firm believer in that.
Okay. Well, y'all heard it here first and live from Tastemakers. Farmer Wayne. And where could they find you at?
Swanson Family Farm, LLC.com. This in 27 will be in some stores, but the only stores I'll be in are Black-owned stores. Okay. And usually I'm either an investor in those stores or I have a real deep relationship or connection with them. So right now you can go to Atlanta Harvest and they may have some of our ground beef, but for the most part, our website, direct to consumer.
Okay. Well, thank you for sitting down with us
today.
Thank you. Swanson Farm, a real tastemaker.